There has been a startling turn of circumstances that has resulted in Chrisean being prohibited from visiting Blueface while he is serving his sentence. Despite this, she was able to make it to his court hearing today, where she gave a sentimental speech about the sweet moment when he got to hold their child, Chrisean Jr., which she found to be really moving. Hi there, and welcome back to Rumor Spill. During her recounting of the manner in which the officials allowed the visit, she was filled with a sense of profound admiration for the officials. "I really ought to have done something about my hair before coming here," she commented, shrugging off her lapse. "I really should have done something about it." Chrisean, who was overcome with emotion, offered his thoughts, saying, "I prayed fervently about our situation and stood there with our baby, my heart racing the entire time. In all honesty, it's a little bit surreal. The last time I was in court, I did the same thing, and the judge noticed it to such an extent that she allowed me to stand, commenting, 'Oh no, she can stand up.' Suddenly, it felt like we had come full circle." She was able to recollect the judge's friendly greeting, which consisted of, "Hey, what's up, y'all," as well as her grin, which appeared to acknowledge how much her kid had grown. And when Blue came out, she was like, "Let her come over." After that, Chrisean said, "I just walked over and turned on some music." In his confession, Chrisean stated, "The entire experience was extremely intense. My body was still trembling. Then she instructed me to proceed with bringing the infant over, and I did so by walking up to him and handing him over to Blue. The only thing he was doing was holding our child, and I was standing there not sure whether or not to kiss him." As she observed the changes that had taken place in Blueface, tears began to fill up in her eyes. There has been a noticeable increase in his beard, thickness has increased significantly, and his hair is beginning to show signs of dread. It was a stunning moment, with one side of his head done in the absolute perfect way. It's difficult to make sense of. As astonished as she was by the judge's leniency, she was also surprised. Chrisean stated that he and all of us were taken aback by the fact that she allowed me to enter. It was a surprise. And when he held the baby and kissed him, it was simply beautiful. "It was crazy, really intense," she continued, describing the event that took place in the courtroom. "Bro, are you going to be coming home anytime soon? The last thing you want is for your phone to go off or for you to become overly loud. The only thing I can think about is, this is incredible, but at the same time, this is totally insane. I'm referring to the fact that you failed to put on the glasses." Continuing, Chrisean said, "I didn't know what to expect. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. I ought to have kissed him, but I wasn't sure if I was capable of doing so. It was clear that he was the same anxious person that I was. I should have just given him a kiss, grabbed him, and tucked him into my back pocket to take with me." She laughed as she reflected on the options that she had passed UP.T the same time. Chrisean smiled and stated, "It was unexpected but cool. It is for this reason that I keep praying for miracles. Whenever there is even a momentary lull in the non-stop activity, I find myself wondering, what is Zoe talking about? What am I doing here?" As she apologized, she became emotional and said, "I'm trying not to cry here, but you know I miss my baby daddy." Some people may refer to it as jail or whatever else they choose to call it, but it feels too real to just pass it off as that. Chrisean made a veiled reference to the fact that he did not wish to alter the existing arrangement with recordings. "I could have taken a video, but I didn't want to spoil anything." It is as if she is implying that he is permitted to see the infant and give him a hug each time I appear in court. She reassured everyone there that she would not be posting any videos from the courtroom. "Once we're past this, that's when you'll see me." After Chrisean had finished recounting her story, she expressed her happiness over the unusual permission that was given by the court. "I am so glad for you, since it is an image that I can't stop thinking about. We watched some film from behind the scenes, and I am truly thrilled for you. In all honesty, it was a breathtaking moment. Bringing a baby into a BCT50 court in such a manner is something that I have never seen anyone authorized to do. From what I've seen, it's completely unprecedented. Right, love? That was wonderful, she cried, checking to make sure that everyone was satisfied with the arrangement on multiple occasions. When they informed her, yeah, Judd, she can come along with the baby, followed by yells encouraging her to make haste, it was extremely evident that they were in agreement with each other. I found myself perplexed by my own hesitation to bring the baby along as I moved at a leisurely pace, almost as if I were scared to bring the baby along behind me. What's the holdup? The thought occurred to me as another officer, who was standing behind me, gave the instruction, "Bring the baby." I questioned my own actions. I found the incident to be unusual and almost as if it had been contrived. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I am not here to hold you in custody. The impact of his remarks was profound. My question was spoken out loud. What exactly are you implying? My guess is that there is more to this. Even though the cop who was standing behind me appeared to be sincere, I couldn't help but consider the possibility that there was a hidden agenda, possibly connected to the approaching court date. It is my assumption that all of this was being videotaped. My eyes were open to the camera, and it was the moment when I had that realization. I corrected myself by saying, "Hold on, that's not right," as I pondered whether or not the events of today were being documented through the use of Zoom communication. There would have been no room for question if there had been a recording device present because it would have documented everything that had occurred. I had reached a point when my emotions were overflowing, and I reflected on the situation by saying, "I've only gotten this far, but had you seen what I did, you'd probably cried too." There was a noticeable disconnection between them, a tension that was awkward and hung in the air like a dense fog. When I thought back on the past, I recalled that there were moments when it was intolerable. Additionally, in order to provide further clarification, I stated it was only my hair. It did not involve my skin, my body, or anything else. Despite the fact that I abhorred the smell, I had heaped everything on top of my head. As I looked up, the details began to become hazy. You can't even see it now, can you? Can you tell me where all of that went? It appeared as though the remnants of those times had disappeared, despite the fact that they had been so vividly present in me prior to my capture. I'm telling you, it's that blue face, you know? As someone who was eager to confirm the existence of a film that might have some answers, I proposed the subject. I am the one who excels in what I do. I was proud to recall that my very first game was played at Cathedral High School. Isn't that what you mean? Do you remember the games on Saturday? Arrive at the venue by 6:00 p.m. The event will begin at 6:30 p.m., but arrive early because seats will fill up quickly. During these get-togethers, I provided counseling and emphasized the significance of being punctual. I then came to the conclusion, hold on, it's your turn now, after pausing for a brief moment. Okay, everyone, I have to leave today, but before I leave, I would appreciate it if you could check to see that my speaker is not turned on. A phone call came in just as I was getting comfortable in the car. Hi, how are you? As I greeted her, I needed a moment to collect my thoughts before continuing. This response was both inquisitive and curious. Oh, you're inquiring about that? Yes, you wanted to discuss something? Not at this time, let's not chat. Please tell me how things are going for you. Subscribe Rumor Spill for more videos.